country representative of the Conrad office. Please put your hands together for Anna Vasco. To help us with the opening remarks, please kindly help me welcome to the podium now the head of the Department of Political Science, the brain behind this time with the politician, Professor Isaac Owusu myself.
Thank you very much, David. David, you have to let them know that you're once the POSA president.
Yeah.
I still have his number as POSA president 2019. And I've told him I'm not changing it, but that is his political position here in the department here. It is much of humility that I come to you this afternoon to welcome you to the Department of Political Science. And let me also say that I'm very happy that we have our emeritus Professor Joseph Achuayi with us. Can we give it up once again to him? Prof has been a mentor to all of us at the Department of Political Science. He's been head of the department, he's been the dean, he's been head of several positions in the university, and we are privileged to have him to join us again as the emeritus professor of the department. He's the conscience of the department. If there's any argument, we will ask him, say, and then he will give us explanation to that. So, and you know, those of you who don't know, when you are an emeritus professor, it means that you are serving the university free of charge. So he's offering a service to the University of Ghana free of charge, supervision, everything he's doing for us free of charge, because he takes that, he's giving back to the department. Now, come back to our topic for the day, time with the politicians. Most of you are very young, so you don't know the guests that we have this afternoon. In the 80s, in the 90s, 2000s, when you hear of his name, the last official position he held was the Chief of Staff at the Office of the President. And you have no idea when you talk about the Chief of Staff at the Office of the President. And no other president than President General Norris. And those of you who are very young, you didn't know what General Norris was, how he controlled power in this country, and he was the Chief of Staff. So, but the one that is very important to me is that he's a very quiet legal brain. He's been a lawyer for the last 15 years and still counting. Almost all the big cases in this country he's been part, but he's not on the front line. Always is in part of every big case. So when we are very humble as a department to have him to tell us his story, how he went through. I'm sure you've heard about the district assemblies concept. We have district assemblies in Ghana here. He's been part of all that process. We have a lot to learn. But for us, our objective of this program is for them to share their story with us. So we talk about theories in the lecture room. He is here to give us the practical insight about what goes on. So it is of humility that I welcome all of you to the Department of Political Science. I want to thank Conrad very much for supporting us this program. God be with you all. God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. I think Prof deserves another round of applause. Thank you so much. At this point, it's now time to invite to the podium the organization that's making sure that Prof's idea didn't just remain in his head. The Conrad Ghana office. Please put your hands together as I welcome now to the podium Anna Vasco, the country representative of the Conrad Ghana office. Please, you can do better for him.
Good afternoon. To our honorable guests, of course, Nana Atudatsi, to our partners from University of Ghana, our Professor Owusu Mensah, Dr. Kwame Asa-Asante, to our profs who are joining us today, and of course to all of you, the students. Welcome to our fourth edition of Time with a Politician. And David and Prof both briefly talked about what the format is about today. I think that the majority of you have also been here for the first three editions. But for those of you who are here for the first time, the idea of today's format is very simple. We bring an experienced politician into the room, and then mostly we actually get out of the way. because this is not about a lecture, we're not going to show you slides. Today we will have a real conversation, and you will have the chance to ask questions that you really want to ask, that you always may have wanted to ask someone who has been active in politics for a long time. Before I hand over, I wanted to share one small thing about our guest today. I believe that you know that he also studied law right here at University of Ghana. So long before he was the Chief of Staff, long before he was at the United Nations for peacekeeping missions, and long before he earned his decades-long of political experience, he was a student at this very campus, maybe sitting in a room not much different than the room that we are sitting or standing in here today. And that sounds like simply stating a fact, but it is worth highlighting, because from where you are sitting, you the students, it is easy to look at someone like him, just as the person that he is today, with a title, with a very impressive CV, with the decades of political experience, and to forget that he also started in a place just like this, the same place that you are starting. And I'm not saying that as a nice motivational line. I'm actually saying that because I think that's the right way of thinking about today. And it's the right way of seeing today as an opportunity for learning. Because the distance between being a student at Legon and being a person that really shapes major decisions, whether it's in politics or a career of your choosing, the difference is not just hard work and time and good grades. Of course, they are all matter. But from what I have seen in the people that a professor has brought to this series so far, it usually takes some things that are less obvious. It takes a willingness to think critical and to also ask critical questions. It takes a willingness to keep learning long after you have left the lecture hall. It needs an openness for new ideas and also an openness to opinions that might be different from your own. And it takes the patience and dedication to build networks, relationships, because trust in politics, as much as anywhere else, is built slowly over years and often long before you actually need it. So that is what today is actually really about. Not just to hear about what our guest has done, but to get a sense directly from him of how that path is actually walked. The decisions, the setbacks, the stories, the people, and the principles who mattered along the way. So please use today as an opportunity to learn as much from him as you possibly can. This opportunity is one of the reasons why CAS keeps coming back to supporting this format. Of course, to support the Department of Political Science and to support Prof in implementing this, because we believe that some of the best takeaways for life are actually not found in the lecture hall. They are found in spaces and in the conversations like we are going to have today. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anna. Please put your hands together one more time for Anna. And indeed, as Anna ended, some of the most important and strategic changes that may happen in your life may not take place in the lecture hall, but in rooms such as this. For that reason, we are very happy to have all of you join us here this afternoon. Please permit me to also acknowledge in our midst Dr. Akpeku Akbevade. He is a faculty member here at the Department of Political Science. And then we also have a traditionalist with us this afternoon. He's in no person than Dr. Kwame Asa-Asante. When I said a traditionalist, Anna was looking around, wanting to see whether the person was behind us. No, he's just right by you. Yes. All right, thank you all so much, and thank you once again for being here. Posa, posa. Posa, posa. All right. Now it's now time for me to give you an overview, a very broad overview of our guest this afternoon. Now, like I did mention, you might have gone for events. In fact, you sometimes even check online. You see profiles about politicians, very big profiles, talks about just a bit of their story. Now, what we do here at the time of the politician is to go deep into their lives and offer you that opportunity to know more than what you may casually find online. And so today, I'm going to read a very lengthy profile, and I want you to give a very rapt attention so that you can know the magnitude of our guest speaker this afternoon. Hello. Our guest speaker this afternoon is one of Ghana's most accomplished legal practitioners, constitutional advisors, governance experts, and statesmen, whose distinguished career span more than 5 decades of service. A barrister at law, solicitor, and a notary public, he has dedicated his professional life to strengthening the rule of law, promoting democratic governance, and advancing peaceful political transitions in Ghana and across Africa. His wealth of experience has earned widespread recognition as one of the country's or the continent's most foremost authorities on constitutional democracy and presidential transition management. Throughout his career, he has served at the highest levels of government, advised president and political leaders, contributed to landmark constitutional reforms, and played a pivotal role in shaping some of Ghana's most important democratic institutions. His influence extends well beyond Ghana's borders through his works with international organizations and governments seeking to strengthen democratic governance and ensure peaceful transfers of political power. He was born on the 3rd of December 1949. He hails from Gomwa and Kamu in Ghana's central region, a community in which he has maintained strong traditional and cultural ties throughout his life. He received his secondary education at the prestigious Adesadel College. He subsequently continued his education at the University of Ghana, Legon, where he pursued the study of law and graduated with a Bachelor of Laws honors degree. He later attended the Ghana School of Law, successfully completed the qualifying certificate in law programs, and was called to the Ghana Bar in 1979. During his university days, 75. During his university years, he distinguished himself not only academically, but also as a student leader, serving as president of the SRC here in the 1974-75 academic year. His tenure was characterized by initiatives aimed at improving student welfare, transportation, national service participation, and student representation, reflecting an early commitment to leadership, consensus building, and public service. Following his call to the bar, he established himself as a legal practitioner, building expertise in legal advocacy, in constitutional interpretation, and public law. Over the course of more than 50 years in legal practice, he has earned a reputation as a man of integrity, sound judgment, and a deep appreciation of constitutional governance. His legal career has been complemented by appointment as a notary public and a membership of the Ghana Bar Association, where he has remained an active and a respected member of the legal fraternity. His transition into public service marked the beginning of the extraordinary career in government. In 1983, he was appointed PNDC Secretary and Regional Minister for the Central Region before assuming responsibility as Secretary in charge of the PNDC Secretariat, a position he held for almost a decade. During this period, he worked closely with the leadership of the PNDC, coordinating government's administration and supporting policy and implementation during that transformative period in Ghana's political democracy. As the country gradually transitioned for a transformative period in Ghana's political history to a constitutional democracy, he became one of the principal administrative figures responsible for ensuring continuity in governance and supporting institutional reforms that laid foundation for the Fourth Republic. Following the establishment of the Fourth Republic in 1993, He continued to serve President Jerry John Rawlings as a special assistant with cabinet status before being appointed Chief of Staff at the Office of the President in 1997, just when some of us were being born. A position he held until 2001. As the Chief of Staff, he occupied one of the most influential positions within government, serving as the President's principal advisor on governmental coordination within policy implementation and executive administration. His responsibilities included coordinating cabinet business, supervising interactions between ministries and government agencies, facilitating policy execution, and ensuring the efficient functioning of the presidency. His tenure coincided with an important period in Ghana's democratic consolidation, during which the country strengthened its constitutional institutions, expanded decentralization, and prepared for its first peaceful democratic transfer of power from one elected government to another. His calm leadership, extensive institutional knowledge, and commitment to constitutional governance contributed significantly to maintaining political stability during this historic period. One of Nana Acho-Dadzi's most enduring contributions to Ghana's governance has been his work on constitutional transitions and peaceful transfer of political power. Having participated directly in virtually every presidential transition since the beginning of the Fourth Republic, he possesses an unrivaled understanding of the institutional, legal, and political processes required to ensure continuity of government. He served as a member of Ghana's joint presidential transition teams in 1992, in 2000, in 2009, in 2016, and even as recent as in 2025. Making him one of the few public officials to have contributed to successive transitions across different political administrations. His practical experience during these transitions ultimately informed his work as a key member of the three-person committee responsible for drafting Ghana's Presidential Transition Bill, which was enacted as the Presidential Transition Act of 2012, Act 845. Widely regarded as one of Africa's most comprehensive legal legislative frameworks governing presidential transitions, the Act has become an important reference for countries seeking to institutionalize peaceful transfer of executive power. Most recently, he has contributed to efforts aimed at developing a parliamentary transition bill reflecting his continued commitment to strengthening democratic governance and institutional continuity. Beyond his national service, he has established himself as one of Africa's leading consultants on democratic governance, constitutional transitions, and peace building. His expertise has been sought by governments, international organizations, and democracy support institutions across the continent. Between 2015 and 2017, he served as the international consultant to the National Democratic Institute in Washington, D.C., advising on Nigeria's presidential transition project. Following the historic political developments in the Gambia in 2016, he was appointed the sole senior consultant to support the country's democratic transition following the election of President Adama Barrow. Similarly, the United Nations Development Program appointed him as an independent transition planning expert for Liberia's 2017 elections, where he assisted in planning and monitoring the country's peaceful transfer of power in 2018. His expertise has also contributed to peace-building efforts in Sierra Leone, where he participated in high-level dialogue and public engagement initiatives aimed at reducing political tensions and promoting democratic stability. Throughout his career, Nana Acho-Dadzi has consistently contributed to constitutional reforms. He served on the eminent advisory committee to Ghana's Electoral Commission, providing strategic guidance on electoral and constitutional matters, and played a prominent role on President Mahama's legal team during the 2012 presidential election petition before the Supreme Court of Ghana. The case presented one of the most significant constitutional disputes in Ghana's democratic history, and his participation reflected the confidence placed in his legal expertise and political judgment. If you may recall, in 2025, just last year, when activist Oliver Verma or Baker was summoned by appointment committee of parliament over supposed contemptuous comments he made on social media, one of the main expectations was who his choice of legal counsel would be. The choice of a lawyer for the social activist had become topical. Many were looking forward to who he was going to recruit as his counsel for the much anticipated showdown, as our political history has come to tell us. It was a matter of shock when Oliver appeared before the committee with none other than one of Ghana's legal and political luminaries, Nana Atudazi, as his counsel. The selection of Nana Atudazi was viewed as a strategic move by Oliver, as he commanded respect from both sides of the House, particularly the NDC caucus of Parliament. Beyond these assignments, he has regularly advised parties, members of Parliament, civil society organizations, and government institutions on issues relating to constitutional governance. He has equally distinguished himself as a respected political and public intellectual, author, and governance advocate. For many years, he has remained an active participant in Ghana's national discourse through regular appearances on television and radio programs discussing constitutional governance, political leadership, and electoral reforms. His contributions has consistently emphasized processes as the foundation for sustainable democracy. As an accomplished author, he co-authored In the Service of Democracy with Professor Kwame Ahoy, chronicling the life and public services of Justice Daniel Francis Annan, former Speaker of Parliament and respected jurist. He has also been preparing a major publication on political transitions in Africa, drawing upon his decades of practical experience in governance and constitutional development. His numerous lectures and presentations include his address at the Nelson Mandela International Roundtable on Political Development in Africa in Abuja, have further established him as one of the continent's leading thinkers on democracy, political conflict, and peace building. In addition to his governmental and international responsibilities, Nana Atudazi has devoted considerable time to professional, civic, and community services. He has served on the Ministerial Advisory Board of Ghana's Ministry of Justice and Attorney General's departments, and remains a long-standing member of the Ghana Bar Association, and is a founding member and legal advisor of the Judicial Services Association of Ghana. He has held leadership positions and within the private and also even in the religious sectors, including serving as chairman of the board of directors of the Perari Volta, director of ETG Ghana, council member of the Brand Ghana, and chancellor or registrar of the Anglican Diocese of Caicos. This appointment reflects the confidence reposed in his leadership across public, private, and even faith-based institutions alike. A recognition of his immense contribution to the public, constitutional governance, and also national development, Nana Atudazi was conferred with the Companion of the Order of Volta in 2015, one of Ghana's highest national honors. I thought you were going to give him a clap. The award recognizes decades of distinguished service to the Republic and his unwavering commitment to strengthening democratic governance and the rule of law. Today, he continues to serve as a highly respected elder statesman, international legal consultant, and governance advisor whose insights remain invaluable to government, democratic institutions, and development partners across Africa. His remarkable career stands as a testament to principled leadership, dedicated public service, and an enduring commitment to democratic governance. Through his legal expertise, administrative leadership, and continuous contribution to peace building and political transition, Nana Atudasi has left an indelible mark on Ghana's constitutional history and continues to inspire future generations of lawyers, public servants, and democratic leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man we have in our presence this afternoon. Your clap doesn't tell how much you appreciate his presence this afternoon. I think you can continue clapping, and please be on your feet as he walks to his seat. Oh, please, you can do better, you can do better, you can do better. At this point, please permit me to now introduce a moderator for the session, Dr. Kwame Asasanti, as he takes over the conversation. Thank you. Yeah, the traditional.
How to introduce a piece. Yeah. Okay, now you can feel. Thank you very much. Glad to see you. Well, yeah.
I've known Nana for a very long time. When I was practicing as a journalist and then as an editor, I watched him from afar. He's so grateful. Almost 8 years. You are very
Thank you very much. And,
Nana, today is the day. And all of us have been waiting for us. Looking for people like us and like people to come and share experience with us. And this platform is meant for that. And I'll take you back to the PNDC era. Mr. Rawlings was somebody that everybody regarded as a very tough leader. How were you able to manage and handle?
well, that's it. Yes. Thank you very much for the opportunity to come out here and meet the lovers of politics. The first time Prof contacted me, I think I told him a time with a politician. I was just looking for who is a politician, you know. I thought I'd crossed that, you know. I thought it was maybe we should shift it to a time with a statesman for now. But yes, I understand where the topic is coming from. I didn't know Mr. Rawlings. He passed through the Commonwealth for some time back, you know, when I was there, but, you know, just friends. But particularly in those days, I don't know where some of the younger ones would know. Nobody applied for any political appointment. You are in your house, it's announced. Mr. Tudanze has been appointed regional minister, regional secretary. You have a choice, either to accept to join the PNDC revolutionary government or to look for the shortest route to Togo and maybe settle in London. And quite a number of people came up to me in those days who have been invited. And they just said, my kids are young, I'm too young. Maybe give me another 4 or 5 years, I'll come back. It was not easy. People simply run out of the position. Of course, like today, where people have to spend a little more money to get appointed. So you can see the contrast. We didn't have a choice. I was in my house. I went for a little meeting and I came back, my house was full. I thought one of my kids had an accident or something. I came and before I would say, I had powder all over my head. What's happening? You're not appointed a regional minister. You should be happy. I said, why? What is this regional minister? I was a young private practitioner, not my job. Maybe 5 years practice. So it wasn't easy. But the crowd out there in my house kind of convinced me that the man get a good job, or the man is subject to public, waiting until my friends maybe I'll do maybe 6 months and come out. And they said, yes, they come out they said, yes, that's fine. You can get to a short time and go back to your legal practice. It was 1982, 83. That's 6 months. I left that office 7th January 2001. But I'm saying, regional minister for maybe 2 to 3 months, and then there was a reshuffle, and I was, again, they announced that, be posted to the PNDC secretariat. To be like the secretary to the government, the entire government. And it was something really strange because the day before I had to report to the office at the Castle Usu, that is on the 19th, I was reporting on the 20th. On the 19th, I went to church and I was told that there had been a coup d'etat and that the government I was going to be secretary to had been dissolved and they had been kicked out. People had been arrested and some people were dead. Choice. Do you go? You don't go? These are some of the challenges I faced at the time, But the next day, I got a strength and drove to Accra and I went to the castle and there was a war zone. Everybody was in some kind of armor or the other. Sat down waiting for President Rawlings, Mr. Chairman Rawlings. Maybe 30 minutes, the door flung open, bam, like that. Turned and I saw a huge guy, in full military uniform and everything. Just kept saying, welcome, Akala. Yeah, I have to, we have an assignment and I have to go out and take the seat and make sure government, everything is all right. Maybe in a week or two, we'll come back and get into government. Except 2 things I want to warn you. 1, be careful about businessmen. I didn't smoke Well, businessmen, they always outsurvive you. And secondly, you must understand that the 2 of us are here. This officer, I'm down there immediately. He said, whatever happens to you, happens to me, that's him. What happened to you? That's weird, Anything, when he drops a bomb or something at him, I'll catch the flag down there. I said, what kind of job have I traded for? Before I could say John, the man was gone. And that was it. So I was in government, secretary to government. I didn't know anything about what it was all about. Nobody was briefing me. The former secretary to the government, Dr. Emmanuel Hansen, had gone to DC in those days, and had an accident or something, never came back. So they issued me into, what do you call it, an office, yes, I had to ask the guy who ushered me, can I get a broom? Because I needed to clean the cobwebs in the place, it was just abandoned place. In the night, we had people sleeping, in defense of the government. Outsiders. We have soldiers, but there are a lot of civilians just out there at night. You'd be surprised that some of the current high priests and whatnot around were all praying and whatnot in there at that time. But to cut a long story short, yes, Mr. Rawlings was a tough, had a tough personality, but with time I found out that he was a very easy person to roll with. Very, very, very easy person to roll with. I hope people do not think that I'm saying it because of, to brush up the past, but really, his philosophy was fairly straightforward, He just wanted to be told the truth. That's all. It's not too deep. It shouldn't be too difficult for you. But we always find it very difficult, a lot of times, Because, he explained it that in the military, if you give a wrong answer, it can lead to the death and destruction of a whole platoon or soldiers. See, so when he wants a direction, when they ask you, where are the people coming from? Go and see and come with a correct answer. You don't sit still and conjure answers. And that's all. And if you can't do it, please tell me. I'll look for somebody else to do it. You're kind of hungry. So that's how the two things. That's all. Now let's work. Yeah, that's all. So and it's for them to see kind of grow and develop, and was keenly aware of some of the weaknesses of man. Particularly as he had an opportunity of leading a government in 1979. I think that he was disappointed with the conclusion and the outcomes of the June 4th era where let him down because they were influenced by money, business, and family, ethnic, religious, bigotry. It was a challenge for him. So one of the assignments that was given to me was to, for instance, to validate every single public statement that issued from our government, PNDC. And I did that for 10 years straight.
Why that?
Yeah, because in 79, the first government, June 4th, young people betrayed the government. So this man has been